It's Warhammer Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Well, I hope. Rabbit Wombat, how are you doing? How is everything in Wombat Nation? Got one of these. Oh, actually, I need to keep track. Shoot. This is the Melt-A-Gun gets a 40. So what I figured out with these little secondary weapons is that each one has its own collar? What do you call this thing? Guard piece almost. And then when you attach them, they don't actually get glued in. They just mount on a little swivel. So it is possible to switch between them. Yes. Good. Just need to find where the other one is. The heavy stubber is 101 with 98. There are so many pieces. Doesn't look like it's on this spread. Oh, more spruce, more spruce. More spruce. Oh, Rabbit Wombat, that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear it. And welcome everybody else coming in. We're continuing on with our night. I've got some cool stuff to show you today. I've been doing a little bit of tinkering in my in all my spare time, and I figured out a couple cool things, and I need your opinion on whether you think something is cool. So let me just get these pieces cut out, and then we'll look at some options. I know, spare time. Oh wow, Rabbit wanted 400 hours of leave. That's cool. Do that. All right, where's this stubber? How come I don't see it? Is it way back on this one? Oh shit. Yes, there it is. Okay, guys. Never fear. I found my stubber. I know the other night the kids were playing with something. I was like, oh wait, I've got 2 seconds. I can come in here and cut out a piece and see if something's going to work. Okay, so remember, we've got the main body, torso. There's the head on the front. It's going to have a mask over it. Figure that out later. Carapace, armor that goes over the top. Eventually that'll be glued on after things get painted, right? It's still bare bones, but it's got all the parts at least. Now, right under there, there's a magnet. Here's one of the weapon options. Boom! Look at that. Magnetized. Swivel it if you want. Pretty cool, right? Success. And then, now, so this one is basically complete. I've got something I'm going to add to it to make it a little bit unique and distinct, but essentially this piece is done. Now for the other, then there are missiles that you can do instead. Boom. So that's obviously the bottom of this pod. Now, here's where I need your thoughts. Airdance, that joke never gets old. We use that joke or something very similar very often. Or the rectum damn near killed him. Okay, so this missile pod, and technically there are two different versions, but whatever. Technically it's supposed to look like this. So again, this piece is the base of it. Goes right there. And then the front, I always forget which is the front. Doesn't really matter. I'm not actually gluing this together, but it looks something like... Oh, come on. Anyway, It's a pod. It's got the front of it as missiles. Okay? Now, what I was thinking is I don't use this missile piece. And it looks fine, but maybe I'll make it a little bit more unique. I got my blue water today. I was thinking, what if I did something like... Oh, I had it all lined up before and it came apart. I should have blue tacked it in. That would have been the smart thing to do. Crap. Bear with me. Okay. Oh. So it's going to take some fiddling to get this to get all the parts to stay in place. But essentially... Oh, man. Okay, hold on. I did attempt this once before, and it did look like it was going to work. The problem is... Okay, there we go. Had that bound backwards. So essentially what I'm looking at... This is all going to be worth it, I promise. God. Okay, give me a second. Black Cavalier, as I've said before, if I didn't have my streams themed to different days, I would have no clue what day it is. Okay, let me try that one more time. But essentially what I'm looking at is I've got these pieces, these random bits I pulled out of things. Well, it's not fitting exactly right now, but I can trim it. But anyway, essentially doing that. Come on, focus please, focus please, focus please. Okay, so essentially doing that, but I'll line it up so they're actually all in flush. And then, like I was saying, I can get mesh and put it over the circular parts to actually make it look like speakers. And then I'll fill in the gaps. I'll just put like little armor pieces. So it'll essentially look like a speaker system as the weapon. What does anybody think of that? Do you think that might look cool? Obviously it's going to take some work, but, you know, everything worthwhile does. Or do I skip this, just put on the missiles, and then add stuff to the top and around in other ways? That is the question. Well, Hudsonizer, I hope it's a good shot. For every shot you get, take a shot. If you want. I'm certainly not one to pressure anybody. Okay, so this I think this could work. I just want verification that I'm not a complete moron. Okay, cool. All right. So I will figure out how to make this a reality. Okay, cool. Cool. That's good. Oh, and so then, okay, so then the other things that I have, and this isn't like a super crazy detail, but I like this piece. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to stick that right on the front of there. So it's going to give that a little bit more character. I know that's not focusing. There we go. So that'll give that something, a little bit something else. I don't know. I don't know exactly how I'm going to paint that, but I think it'll look cool right there. And then, so again, as I said last time, so for the standard kit, you're supposed to put an Aquila right there, big old symbol of the Emperor. But no thanks. And I was talking about how this is my favorite piece in all of Warhammer, and actually, it looks like I trimmed out the back of it, and it looks like that'll actually fit right there. So it'll be right above the head. And again, I'm going to be doing more customization on the top anyway, adding more bits and bobs and craps. So I think I'm going to put that right there. Okay, but right now we're working on these sections because I have another crazy idea. I have lots of crazy ideas. But I got to do one thing at a time. Okay, so first of all, on the left side of the knight, there are two weapon options. And again, depending on... Remember, so this knight, even as a Chaos Knight, there are 3 different ways you can play this thing. Depending on what weapons are on the arms. And then different ones of those have different options for what weapon can go here on this little tiny mount. Now, there are only 2. Some you can switch between them. One of the knights can only have one of them, but I think if you build this right, you can swap between them without even needing magnets or any crazy thing. So I'm going to try that real quick. See where that takes us. I just need to make sure I keep the right pieces together. Because part of it does get glued, and then part of it does not. I watched a little bit of a battle report, people playing knights. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm almost there. Well, I guess I'm not really almost there with this project. Okay, so we've got our melt-a-gun. Looks like it goes this way, and this piece... Which way does this go? This way? Where does the little scanner go on the melt-a-gun mount? It must be like that. Is there an... Oh, no. It goes like that? Where does that notch fit? There we go. Okay, it does go like that. Yes. Okay, cool. Glue that together. So, Tiny Chris, I have seen people who have put a speaker in here. Sometimes, like, there's some of this stuff can be trimmed out. I mean, you'll end up with some holes, but again, it gets covered up anyway. So yeah, they'll actually mount a speaker inside the main body, and then they'll like cut a hole through the back to run if you need to run power. Actually, one I saw was really cool. They drilled out this circular part that comes out right here, and then they installed a button that you could press. Yeah, that stuff is insane. And again, some people rig these with LEDs, so you'll have so they'll drill holes, or they'll carve out the back, and then they'll run LED through the back, and then again have some sort of a control for it somewhere. That's that's a level of hobbying that I am not up to just yet. Maybe one day. I also don't really know about electronics at all, so that definitely is out of my element for rigging and setting up that kind of stuff. Maybe one day. But yeah, I've seen Bluetooth speakers in knights. I've seen Bluetooth speakers in tanks. There's somebody who created uh, a modular terrain kit, essentially, that you build out of it's laser cut MDF, so it's like the really thin wood, um, but it makes a stage, and you can mount speakers in. Essentially, they're like speaker columns, so you can put little speakers in there, and then actually play music through the thing. It doesn't really have rules or anything, but you can do it through as a terrain piece, or you could count it as something. Savage Punch says, my experience is that it's all circuits, so if something doesn't work and it isn't a software issue, check if the circuit is broken. Yeah, and that makes sense. And from what like I said, I've seen hobby projects where they have all this crazy stuff. And yeah, it looks like there's usually a circuit, and then they attach the leads, and then you just have to know which color goes to what, and make a circuit. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If something's disconnected, then it won't complete the circuit. My son actually has a kit that's pretty cool. It's called Snap Circuits, and it's like rudimentary electronics projects for little kids. I should sit in on one of his little projects because I'd probably learn something. Or heck, I'll just have him rig up the next time I want to do something crazy with electronics. Okay, so here's the stubber. Get its mount going. Oh, one more. There we go. Okay, now how does this one attach? So we've got the stubber side this way. And where does the cup go? That way. Could have made these things a little bit easier to figure out which direction they go, but I guess that's a little bit more of a me problem. Okay, that's fine. That'll work. Yeah, anytime you can trick your kids into uh, doing work or learning something, it's a good time. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's fitting perfectly, but that's the way it shows. Wait, something is not right here. Okay, that should work. Essentially, it just has to have clearance for the connector for the top part, but it didn't quite at first. Oops. Just throw that piece anywhere. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Oh yeah, the erector sets with the actual wrenches and things. Yes. All right, I need piece A38, and then I need a tiny, tiny bracket number 100. Okay. A38 and 100. Okay, we're going on a hunt. Sprue hunt. Hey, look. 38. We're halfway there. So again, because you're not supposed to glue these parts so that they can move, in theory, we'll be able to swap out parts between them. Now, whether that's actually going to be functional, we're about to find out. Alright, so this looks like the piece we needed to find with the head. It's like a half circle, but the trick was with the other one that it was sideways on the sprue, which made it essentially invisible. So now that I know what I'm looking for, hopefully it won't be as difficult to find. He said with a laugh. There's another one of those. You should keep tracking. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, look at that. Right there. Damn, I'm good. Okay. Which is also good, actually, because I need to know where that other one is for the next piece. Oh, so tiny. Huh. Streamlabs is doing something a little weird. Not terrible, just a little weird. Okay. I can handle a little weird. Whatever. Alright, so again, the way this works, it wants... Alright, actually, let's see. So we've got the weapon bracket. Got one of the weapons here. I don't want to push too hard, but essentially it locks in the sides like so. See how it kind of dangles and can wobble a little bit. They want you to have that wobble. So that wobbles. And then you very carefully mount that there. And then you glue the bracket around the top without touching. So then you can wobble the gun sideways and up and down. Now that's the theory. And again, the theory being that if this is not glued, once the bracket is glued, you can still gently pull this part open enough to take the gun out and put the other one in. That's the theory. I should have waited till this glue was dried. There we go. Okay. But that should work. I just need to know the orientation for the brackets. Does it show? No, of course not. Go that way. No. Does it go that way? Shit. Oh, it's a small piece. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That looks better. 100%? I don't know. I may need to... Yeah, it's got to be that way. Alright. So we need the tiniest amount of glue farthest away from where the central piece needs to stay loose and rotating. Okay. There. Can we do it? Oh shoot, which way did... Oh no, I forgot which way the part went. Fuck. Crap. Did anybody remember? This one? Okay, I think it... Alright, that's good. Alright, now, keep turning to make sure that it doesn't set where we don't want it to. Do 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 do. You know what's the only thing better than watching paint dry? Watching glue dry. I have a good feeling though. I think this is going to work. Now we talked about how on the other side, so again, the little gun goes on this side, and on this side, it has a little shield, typically. And the shield is just a flat space where you've got to put decals or paint or do some kind of crazy decoration of some kind. But I have an idea. Oh yeah, Hyper's old watching paint dry. Yep. We were going to do more hobby kind of streams, but there was never... there was just never time. Right. It's still this is still turning well, so I think we're going to be good. Come back to it and make sure that it's still turning well in just a minute. Okay. Now, on the other side, like I said, same concept. We've got a bracket that holds a little spinning part. That spinning part attaches to a doohickey. The doohickey attaches to a shield. Now there are two shield options. Very, very similar. One just essentially has a little bit of a decoration around the outside. But they do have different back plates that attach, so you actually do have to keep track of which one you are using. Here's my idea. Again, looking at all these crazy parts. So what happens is, like I said, this thing gets mounted approximately, it's going to be about here, right? Offset from the head, and it'll be able to move a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's look at a picture so we can see exactly what we're talking about. So you can see here. So it's offset from the head. It's in front of the carapace, so it can move around a little bit without getting in the way and bumping into too many things. Obviously, it doesn't have a huge range of motion, but it can move a little bit. So here is what I was thinking. Oh, it was watching paint dry something before. Okay, I guess that's not what... Oh, okay. Watching paint dry, not exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking when we did some hobby streams, doing mostly Warhammer stuff here in LA. Maybe they called it the same thing, but I didn't realize that it was a previous DFA thing. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Got this shield. It's fine as it is. But why go with a shield, a plain shield, when I could put that on there? Again, like a big speaker something. What do we think? It's not actually much bigger than the shield, so I think it's gonna, I don't think it, and because that shield sticks out in front of where the carapace things sits, rather, I don't think it's going to get in the way of anything. So what does anybody think about that? Now, again, like, the back of it's not going to look super pretty, but from the front. Like, yeah, that'd be cool? I'll scuff it up a little bit. I poked a hole in it to make it look a little crazy. Also to make sure that this inner part was secure. It's like, wait, can I just pop? Is it going to fall right out? But no. I poked a hole in it. It's going to stay right there. Okay, cool. Let's try it. Let's be mad scientists. All right, so I'm going to use the flat shield. I think that'll give me more. Well, actually, I don't know if it's going to matter. No, let's go with the other one. Yeah, I was just thinking that unfortunately with Hyper, some of their high profile things that they've worked on in the past kind of just gone because what came out about the personalities who were on there, and not just DFA. But you never know. Well, I mean, I guess you know if you're around somebody long enough. But yeah. Okay, so we're using the shield with the little decorations on it, which they don't show you in front of it. Why are these different pieces? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, okay, it's this one. All right, so I need A36 and then 86 and 87. So 36 and then 86 and 87. Why is that? They give me two of these? Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know what's going on there. I don't want to freak myself out. Maybe it's like Lego and they gave me an extra piece. Okay, don't see 86, 87, or 36 on this one. Next sprue. Next sprue. Oh, okay, hold on. We've got 87. So we're a third of the way. Now I need 86 and 36. Which one is this one? That's 140, so that's not right. Anything? Dang, I was hoping they'd all be together. You know, that'd be helpful if the parts were actually near each other on the sprue, but no. Yeah, that's one of the worst things, that a lot of people who are like really terrible people, they're really good at hiding it. Oh, come on. Where are these little tiny pieces? Oh, am I gonna have to go? Wait. 36. Yes. Found it. All right. Okay, now we just need 86. Oh, wait. Was that? Hold on. Hold the phone, everybody. Hold the phone. Is that 86 or 98? Nope, that's 98. Shit. Uh-oh. 86. Crap. Alright, call out if you see 86. And it's not that one. Thank you for the follow, Wrath and Ruin. We are working on converting a Knight Preceptor into a Chaos Sonic Knight. And currently I am trying to find a part on a sprue that I can't seem to find. I know it's here somewhere. It's roundish and small. And should have the number 86 next to it. Which is only partly helpful because it's not like the sprues are in any sort of order. Okay, is it here? It's not that one. Oh my goodness. Why can't I find this? Well, that's super frustrating. All right. You can only count to 61. Well, I appreciate the thought. Okay, so here. So that's part 86. That's what I'm looking for. It's got like a cup. And then the other side has that thing. Shoot, you know what? I'm wondering if it was this. I think I put the wrong piece on here. I think I mixed up my 98 and my 86. I think I did. Wouldn't that be just like me? Yep. That's what I did. Okay. And that explains why the other piece didn't fit exactly right. Well, we solved the mystery, folks. We solved it. And we'll move on from there. That's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine and good. Yeah, that was a bad dude, as we all found out. But not, like I said, not everybody is who you think they are, or outside of a given situation, they might show their true colors. All right, so some of this stuff gets glued together, some of it doesn't. So first, this little doodad goes on the back of the shield, like that. Or is it like... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. It tells you how it goes. It goes like that. It's kind of cool. It's got like... I don't know if there's supposed to be supports or some sort of electrical system, but it's kind of a cool detail that you will literally never see because it's on the back of this part. I am going to put this together first before I add the cool speaker to it. Make sure everything is going to fit the way I'm envisioning it, at least. Okay, that's good. Now we have 86 and 87, which was the missing piece. And this seems like something you wouldn't glue. Wait, how does this work? Oh, I see. This attaches here. Is that right? Why does this look so weird? I guess you do glue it in place? It seems like this also wouldn't be glued. But I guess there's no way it would hold it if it wasn't. Interesting. Yeah, the only thing it says not to glue is the bracket that attaches here so that it can swing from side to side. But I guess it cannot swing up and down. Although it really looks like it wants to. And that means I need to decide what the angle is going to be before I glue it all together. Okay. We can make that happen. First, I'm going to glue it onto here. Ooh. And I want it pretty much straight. As much as you can get from eyeballing it anyway. That's pretty good. All right, so we have got the shield and the mount goes behind it. Again, that's going to attach to this and then hang off of that bracket. Let that dry for a second. So now I can put the actual correct bracket mount on the stubber because I didn't have the right one on before. Silly me, not triple checking my numbers. You'd think I'd know better after all this time. Or that I'd question why something didn't have a perfect fit. Oh, that'll learn me. There we go. I know some of you were there for the Dune stream last night, which was pretty hilarious. The pants were funded. Not my pants, Jessica's pants. Dune was almost finished. I think we have 12 pages left. Madness. So in theory, next week we will finish. But as always, I make no promises. Keep my sprues together. Okay, let's get this thing done. Yeah, I just want to, essentially, it's this weird angle thing that I wish I knew exactly how it was going to hang. So the new Doom movie comes out, what, in October? I think it's scheduled for? Here? You know what, let's dry fit test this, because I don't know exactly how this is going to look. I think it's October. I don't know if they've changed. Oh yeah, look at that. That's gonna be cool. So it's gonna hang off here. So I do want it at a little bit of a down angle, but not too far down. What? Me being the chaos person? Erdinsk, you must have been watching a different show. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never. How dare you? Come on, you all know me. I'm not one. I'm not good at just reading and not talking about something, or just talking about something but not reading. I need a combination. I need to be able to stop and go off on tangents and talk about things and reference things. I can't just read. Okay, I'm gonna hold this like this for just a minute. Oh, Bone and Shadow gets better. Okay, yeah, I'm still. I just started the first episode and then I got distracted and went off and watched something else, which is typical. Okay, I think that should be good. Like I said, I wanted it a little bit of an angle, a little bit of a downward cant, and I think that should accomplish it. But I'm going to let that dry before I move on to the next step. Okay, what can I do in the meantime? That's drying. That's waiting. I'm not going to be using these parts, so those can go back in a box. Always good to do a little bit of a cleanup. Oh, you know what? Let's put this on. So now, because I'm gluing metal to plastic, I need to use super glue. I think, yeah, I'm just going to lay it down. It's probably too much. A little too much. Try to get that relatively straight before it starts to harden. Not get too much on my hands. Yeah, that'll work. So, got, again, what is that thing? I don't know. But I'll paint it. It'll look like there's a light in there. Again, something to differentiate a little bit, make it look a little different from every other knight out there. Again, the painting is what's going to make it look more interesting. Cool. So that's good. That's something different. Stay over there. Stay tuned for further announcements about Saturday. I'm still locking things down, but I should have news soon, and it's going to be good news, and everybody's going to be very excited. I promise. Yeah, I know there's so many shows starting and stopping right now. And so many things that are very soon coming on the horizon. All right, is this dry yet? Oh, I really want to do this part, but I don't want to pop that over. The CEO of GW. Oh man. I wish. How do we get in touch with that person? All right, Nightbot. Easy. Getting a little crazy there. Okay, so for this one, we are using plastic glue. And I think I'm going to apply the glue to the back of the face. Yes. Okay. Try to get that as centered as I can. It's proving to be a little bit difficult. Mainly because it's not technically supposed to go there. But that's not going to stop me. Oh no. Also because the piece itself isn't 100% right angles. Okay, cool. Oh, I like it. I like it. It's like a big old hood ornament. Yeah, yeah. Jess is not usually called the non-chaos person, but especially between the two of us. Okay. In preparation, gonna make sure that this works the way I think it's going to. Yeah. Okay. Should be good. All right. Okay, come on. Let's do this. All right, that's good enough. Let's go. Let's go. Remember, especially when you're dealing with big pieces or things that need to move. Dry fit first. Okay, that's going to work. I want to use as little glue as possible so it doesn't get into the parts that need to move. And ever so gently pop that in there. Oh, it's a little bit too much glue. Shoot. Oh man. That piece doesn't really... Wow, doesn't even really fit all that well. Alright, well, let's figure out where I want it, and I think we're just going to glue it down. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, when this thing is all done and put together, it's going to look pretty rad. Now, like I said, I don't know exactly how I'm going to be playing this night, which doesn't really matter all that much. Yes, Black Cavalier. I do have to paint it. I have been thinking about the paint that I'm going to be using for this one. Again, this is my Chaos Knight, so it's not going to be the same pink that I've been working on for my Loyalist Space Marines, which I know sounds silly because Emperor's Children stuff is also partly pink at least, but a little bit of a different color scheme. You know what? I'm just going to glue this whole thing. This is not going to move, and that is okay. Especially because I'm going to put the big old speaker on here. The added support of just gluing all of this down, I think is going to be good for it. Okay, so again, like I said, because I'm going to magnetize everything here and be able to swap out the weapons and technically swap out the different versions of this knight, so it'll in different games it's going to be played as a, you know, essentially a different unit. All that being said, we, all of you people and I together, we need to come up with a few things. First of all, we need the house that this knight belongs to, because eventually I'll get more knights, right? And you can play knights essentially as individuals. So somebody got a hold of this knight, or it's the last knight of a house, and then that person just goes off on adventures by his or herself, and can be a mercenary or can be dedicated to a faction or a cause, whatever the case may be. Or the knight, even if you play one knight, it can belong to a larger house of knights, and then, but sometimes more than one will show up. So for this, I want to create a house. So house, it'll be house what? So it could be house. Some of the other ones are House Raven, House. Oh man, there's so many bad Latin houses. I'm reading a book right now that has them, and it kills me. There's House Mortis, House Ignatum. Anyway, so we need to come up with a house. We need to come up with a name for this knight specifically. Every knight has its own name. a lot of them are terrible Latin, but they can be anything. And then we also need to come up with a name for the pilot inside. Now, there's no model for it. We're going to cover this thing up. You can build these things with an actual cockpit inside. And when you do that, this piece here you can build so that it opens up, and so you can actually see inside. That's a level I don't need. I'm not interested in doing that, but it's possible. So yes, so we need the pilot, the knight itself, and the house. So we need 3 names and the backstories for all of these things. So think about it. Keep it in the back of your mind. We'll add a little bit of more lore as we go, and as I read some more of the... I started reading the codex, well, the 8th edition codex. There's no 9th edition codex for Renegade Knights yet. There will be eventually, but I may tweak some of the lore points as we go. But also, because these are just giant machines that are piloted by humans, is this a male pilot inside? Is it a female pilot? Is it a non-binary pilot? It can be any of those things. And I'd totally be down for any of those options. So keep that in mind when you think of potential things for it. You can't just throw out Huey, Dewey, and Louie, because then what is it? Huey piloting Dewey of House Louie? I mean, like, there has to be some sort of organization to this. Okay, how's my gun mount doing over here? Let's try the stubber, shall we? Alright, that sort of just popped on. Now, the only problem with not gluing this mount and leaving it the way it's supposed to be so you can swap things out is the gun just kind of droops there. It's just floppy. Nobody likes a floppy gun. But technically that's a valid way to have it. I've seen lots of professionally done knights and the gun is just sort of drooping there. I don't know. I don't like that look though. You can kind of wedge it, so yeah. Huh. What are you gonna do? But yes, to remind where we're going with all of this. Ah, look at that. Look. So we've got the head there, we've got the gun on the one side, the shield on the other side. And again, I'm going to put the speaker on that, but look, it's coming together. And after, I believe, as soon as... Well, I got to build the speaker pod. That's... Nerdy Duck, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. Because typically, whatever weapon is here is for anti-infantry and crap on the ground. So that is valid, yes. I just don't love the look of it. And these things aren't that tall. What are you going to do? It's fine. I'm certainly not going to worry about it right now. Okay, that is good. Yes, good. All right, but I'm going to wait for that to dry completely before I attach the heavy speaker, because I don't want it to pull down where the plastic glue is still set in. All right, so how are we going to do the boombox? First of all, I need to make sure I know which way is front. All right. The arrow on the top faces front. Good. That's helpful. House Rock, Night Purple Rain, pilot formerly called Prince. So do me a favor, any ideas, put them in the Discord so we don't lose them. And if somehow you're watching, maybe you're new, like Wrath and Ruin, if you're still here, we have an amazing Discord. It's a Discord shared by the Home Buddies, the best stream team out there. You're definitely going to want to be a part of it. Wait. No, the arrow goes backwards. Oh, I can never figure this piece out. Well, actually, I'm wondering if I should just glue the frame of this thing together first. And then... yeah. And then put the speakers in. Yeah, that seems dangerous. Especially when something like that happens. So what's going to be the best way to do this? It is a challenge. Ooh, unless I put together the frame and then I put some sort of filler inside. That might not be a bad idea. Something so that basically so that when I put in a piece like this, it doesn't drop all the way to the back like that, and then I have to try to dig it out. Oh, especially because there's a magnet in there. These are metal pieces. Oh no. But yeah, okay. So what I'm thinking is I assemble the outer parts. And then, like I said, I can even just put some sprue in there just to make it so that the additional things I'm working on don't fall too far into the back. I think I'm going to do that. Because that way I can keep going on the project and not have to stop everything to figure out how this stuff is going to work. Because I don't know exactly how it's going to work. I know that it will work. Just don't know exactly how. Okay, good. Yeah, definitely could use green stuff for sure. Okay. But yeah, at least this way I've got the basic... Ow, that's a sharp... that's a sharp little spiky thing. Okay. Yeah, so at least I'll have the basic form so I can see how it's going to look overall and start playing with where the pieces are going to go. I like it. I like it a lot. Cool. This thing is coming together. Is this solidified yet? The thing moved a little bit. I don't want that to move. Now, once these pieces are done, and they are very, very close, then we start into the arms. So we're not doing the Preceptor. That has a unique Las Impulsor weapon that is not available to the Chaos Knights, so we don't need to worry about that. So we skip ahead to what this calls the Knight Crusader rules. So now what I have to figure out is how you build the arm mounts without attaching everything so you can swap things out with magnets. I don't know exactly how to do that. I'm going to have to look that up. But I know it's a thing. People do it. Or rather, where the magnets go. 1817. Because essentially you've got the inner arm mount, and then the lower arm mount, and then the gun attaches around it. So I don't know. I don't think you build, because the A11 and 12, I don't think you get enough of those. Or maybe, do they give you one of those for every single weapon? If so, then the magnet would just go right there between the upper and the lower arms. But like I said, I don't know. I gotta do a little bit of research before I get to that step. So definitely for next time. A bit of a programming note. My family's we've got a bunch of things happening, projects, school for the kids, busy stuff. We're coming up on summer, so things are going to get even more crazy. So I think I'm going to schedule change a little bit. I think I'm going to, for the time being, take away, hey, One Among Us player, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I'm going to be pausing my Tuesday stream. I think I'm going to go on hiatus for Toy Tuesday. But don't worry, we're still going to have Figure Friday, so essentially I'll just be doing toys more reliably on Fridays. So in the mornings, streaming will be every other day. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So nothing on Tuesday and Thursday. Again, at least for the time being. Who knows what will happen in the future. But continuing streaming on Tuesday in the afternoon with Jess. Myths and Video Games Wednesday afternoon with Pete. It's happening today. I'll talk about that again in a minute. And then, Saturday stuff. All right. So what have we accomplished? Well, so much. First of all, we've got the hood ornament. Oh, love that piece. We've got the gun mount, which droops, but we can swap out the gun, which is good. We've got the shield mount. I wanted to get the speaker on there, but it's not fully dry, so I'm going to wait. And then we have magnetized cannon on the top that I added a little cool piece to, so that'll look fun. It's magnetized, so you can pose it, essentially. And then the other piece is magnetized as well, which is going to be the boombox. And I have the pieces, so it'll be continue to work on that. And yeah, and then again, with that stuff done, the top, basically the central part of the body will be finished. Again, before more decorations will go on this thing as we get further along. And then we'll start working on the arm weapons. Pretty cool. I'm excited. I really like the way this is going. And again, I always think, man, if I was just building a basic loyalist knight out of this box, I'd probably be done with the whole thing by now. Just pop all this crap together without doing all this customizing. But I think this thing is going to look super cool. Yeah. So remember, think about names for the house that this knight belongs to, the knight itself, and the knight's pilot, and put those suggestions in the Discord. But we'll talk about that more as we go. Because this still's got a little ways to go before this thing is done. All right, let's see. Is anybody else streaming right now who is super, super cool? I'm just looking for super cool people. Let us see. Do. I don't know what these things are. People are just, looks like they just logged on. You really want NECA to make a last action Arnold, last action hero. I mean, it could happen. They've done a lot of. They've done Arnold figures before. I know people at NECA. I'll send that word along. Cool. All right, we're gonna raid. All right, we're gonna continue the Warhammer. Hold on, what exactly is the name? All right, we're gonna raid Nerd Princess Official. She is super cool. Does all sorts of really interesting hobby work. Her Instagram is great. A little not safe for work at times, but a bunch of cool stuff. All right, thanks everybody for hanging out on this build. Like I said, I really like how it's all going. It's Wednesday. Today, 3 o'clock Pacific on the Pete Wiz channel. We'll be doing myths and video games, continuing on with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, looking at all the cool characters and mythology and history in the game. It's been super fun. I'm really enjoying this one, and today should be another really good stream. So come along for that if you're around. Otherwise, go check out what Nerd Princess Official is doing, or have a great rest of your Tuesday, or Wednesday. God damn it, what day is it today? Wednesday. That's the day, Wednesday. And then otherwise, I will be back here on Friday. Oh, I have some really cool stuff to look at on Friday. Toys and models and things. Some new stuff has come in. Very excited for that. Okay. Rabid Wombat, you're definitely going to want to be here on Friday. Okay, bye. Yeah, it's in the process, so I don't know if people can still hear the screamings.